did our Main Street reconstruction project back. It was complete in 2021. We had traditional pavement, and so the main master plan was to implement the pavers. So the stormwater will drain into our pavers. It will go through rock layers, which remove some of the sediments, the bacteria, and then it ultimately connects into our stormwater drainage over in Prairie Point Park, where it deposits into the detention basins over there. Yeah, we've had an exponential amount of rain this summer, and I've definitely noticed the difference between traditional pavement and the pavers. The rainwater does not pool up like it used to. I personally appreciate the aesthetic and the character that the pavers provide to our downtown area. I think it makes a huge difference in the downtown aspect and the feel that we're trying to improve in Elkhart.
The site that we're standing at formerly was a sewage treatment lagoon. So this is where the wastewater came from the city of Elkhart to be treated. When it was no longer needed and went offline for better sources of treatment, this area became available for a really unique stormwater retrofit project that has been going on the last several years. They have been transformed into stormwater ponds to manage stormwater from about 147 acre watershed, which includes much of the city of Elkhart. This is especially exciting because Elkhart did not have the ability to manage that stormwater before, and they were also having some flooding and other issues in town with water. So they're able to do a phased project where they add in a storm sewer network to the town to then come into these already created stormwater ponds with just some minor adjustments to connecting them together, where now they have this beautiful focal point park within their community with a walking trail and development happening around it, as opposed to a wastewater treatment facility. Then behind me, you can see a couple of the storm drain inlets that are actually flowing into a section of the pond that we call the forebay. And that is a section that is segregated out from the rest of the pond so that it can be cleaned out more easily. What you can't see today, because the water's a little elevated, is a rock check that runs the length of this in order to let the water pass over, and that way we can drain the pond down just slightly and clean out the sediment that would come in from the storm drain outlets and the sand that would come off the roads, and be able to clean it out so we don't have to go in and clean out the entire pond. But out in the water, there's a stake, and at the bottom of the pond here, we've got a small inlet pipe. That pipe comes into this structure we have over here, which is part of the multi-staged outlet structure. And this structure has what we call stop gates in it that pick the level that we want the water to be at. And the city can set the level, or the landowner can set the level of the water so that the pond adjusts to that water level for these small storms. It allows the water to bounce up a little bit and then be let out slowly over a 24-hour period or beyond to have the water quality improvement that we're looking for. Now, obviously at times we're going to have more water than that, and it's going to come up even more, and that's where some of these other stages. So in this bigger structure behind us, which takes the water, you can see the lower notch in the concrete, and that's where the water begins to flow in. And then if it comes up higher, it's got the whole bigger side, and then if it comes up more, it can go around and into that outlet. So that's where we get a lot of the different stages of water being outlet that we're managing with modeling and outletting, so that we can have the water quality control we want and the flood protection we also want downstream.